Okay, guys, so today we've got the pleasure of having Katie with us, and she has developed systems and ways of thinking about going about her business. So, really excited to get into this interview. Here we go.
So, hello, I am Katie, and I also am working and building a business through Evolve, who are basically an incredible group of entrepreneurs from all over that just basically want to get away from, the traditional 9 to 5, work online and change people's lives and their own lives in the process. So yeah, we're doing things a little bit differently, which is incredible. But yes, I am very proud to be part of Evolve and the community.
Yeah, it's a great community, yeah, from what I've seen so far. Loads of great energy and
Um,
yeah, loads of opportunity. Did you go to the previous Evolve festival as well? Were you there?
yes, I did. They're so good. I think this is kind of the beauty of the events that we have because obviously we, all have the beauty of being able to, work online and grow businesses completely remotely.
Mm.
But I think what people maybe don't kind of think beforehand or aren't aware of, should I say, is that it's not a case that it's just like you stuck on a little laptop, not able to communicate with the world except for digitally. It's so much of like you feel like those kind of people are your family, and when we have like events like we do, wherever they are. I mean, last two have been in Wales, and then we've just had an announcement that this next one is going to be in Ibiza this year,
Really cool, yeah.
which is very, very exciting. But yeah, they give you a chance to meet people in person, or if you've not, for some people, they see each other actually quite a lot. So yeah, it's amazing, and also the wider kind of communities that we have as well. I meet people regularly from there to meet up and co-work and do coffee shops and such. So yeah, they're amazing for that. So I'm really excited to see everyone again for that. But yeah, the last one was Wales. So very different to the one that will be the one in Ibiza. It was a
Yeah.
little bit colder. Being in Wales, but it was very outdoors, very nature based, and yeah, it was gorgeous. It was really really good,
Loads of
really great
great
event.
opportunities to connect with people as well, like you say, and it just goes to show it's more than just an online business. It's literally network marketing. So you're meeting people and learning from them, and then obviously you can then jump on calls with people and learn from each other. So it's kind of like what you were saying earlier before the call. There's no sort of gatekeeping by the sound of it. It's all kind of everyone's there for each other, like supporting and nurturing each
Massive
other.
thing.
So yeah, really cool.
Yeah, 100%. That's it. I think, again, that's another thing that maybe people might think or worry about before they end up coming into like a business like this that's online based, is that
Mm.
it's them left to their own devices, and
Mm.
it's really not like,
Yeah.
there is so much support. We've got, obviously, the beauty of Evolve and the way it's been built is that we have Telegram chats, like me and you were literally just talking on Telegram. So it's just obviously a way for people to be able to communicate, but we have these chats that you don't have to get involved every day. Like, a lot of people have so many group chats going on
Yeah.
in their own social life, but it's full of just, it becomes this bible of incredible information that's like, we've got so many people from all over the world really and
Mm.
evolve from so many different years of business. So collectively, that's so much information
Mm.
that's just shared really naturally in a really lovely space in a chat where we also support each other with, like, I don't know, celebrating birthdays. We have,
Mm.
Monday gratitude, Thursday wins,
Yeah.
and anyone that's even like briefly kind of touched on the chat has said how like positive and lovely and just nice and normal it is.
Yeah.
It's not like, yeah, this kind of toxic positivity element that I think some people even can relate to. It's just, everyone is just so great. And again, that's why, meeting up with people when you do, you're so reminded by the fact that these are just normal people
Yeah.
with very, very different backgrounds from different walks of life. And it's, yeah, really, really lovely.
Yeah.
Such a great community. I feel blessed we've come across it, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's,
same.
yeah,
Yeah, you
been
don't get
amazing.
that anywhere else as well. You're not going to get that from any kind of 9 to 5 or any kind of like other job that I've seen. So yeah, phenomenal. So how long have you been
Yeah.
doing affiliate marketing? I know we spoke about this.
So Yeah. So this is technically not my first business within the space. It's 100% going to be my last, and I'll tell you why. But so my first, I actually worked for a company, or worked with a company called Arbonne, a bit like Avon, Juice Plus. They're considered like low ticket companies, which basically just means you have to sell like a low value product. No disrespect to the products themselves. I mean, they're still good products, but they're low in terms of like cost. And I could see that, the network marketing industry and that kind of thing was clearly worked. I had people around me, that were earning like 15, 20 grand a month. I just didn't like that way of selling. I didn't like the fact that there was this, you had to sell a lot to be able to make anywhere near the amount that you can make in high ticket. But like I mentioned to you before, I kind of felt that, having to throw things like product parties and getting friends and family to basically keep my business afloat and saying like, oh, I need to hit this kind of amount each month. Can you? And the mentor that I had, she was so, so lovely. But I remember watching her burst into tears one day when she was hoping to have achieved a certain rank, and we were all gearing up for it. And it was just like, and she didn't, which is understandable. Business, sometimes that happens, but she had to then do all of that again the next month and more. And I was just like, God, actually, this isn't maybe what I want to. And again, this whole selling products on my social media, I didn't really want to have to do that. And contacting people I've not spoke to in years and years with a bit of an ulterior motive to get them to come on board. So I was kind of like, we'll see what else comes up in the future. And then, yeah, lo and behold, COVID hit. I'd been away traveling and was looking online for different ways of being able to, go and just escape and not have to come back to sort of 9 to 5 jobs that I'd flitted between. And again, the beauty of what we teach and evolve is that we can have, automation based systems, one of which is sponsored adverts, which enable you basically to reach people all over the world that already have an interest in what it is that you're marketing or promoting or what have you.
Right.
And that's exactly how I came across. So yeah, Nikki, my mentor, she put an advert out that this is a beauty. You put it out once and that's it. And it literally just brings in the right people to you. Yeah. And I came across her account and I was like, what is this? What is she doing? Oh my gosh, she's doing all of the stuff that I want to do, which is, I think at the time she was basically circumnavigating the UK in a camper van. But I was just like, I'd been in Bali in 2017 and there was all this. And obviously so many different places she'd been to, and I just wanted that way of freedom. But I couldn't really tell what it was that she did from a profile, in the sense of like, I knew it was in the sort of network marketing space, but there wasn't like information, like wasn't products plastered all over. And that for me, because of where I'd come from, was a real like, oh great, like what is it that you do? I asked her for all the information and had a very skeptical family, so I spent a good amount of time really going through everything and making sure that it was a product that I could get on board with, which I absolutely did within about 5 minutes of me learning about it, which was just again another major factor. So yeah, that for me was back in, I think I officially affiliated with the company that we work with back in March, about 4.5 years ago now. But I just hadn't really totally done the business for 4 years, if that makes sense. I feel like I dabbled in it, learned some things, stayed in touch with the community, was back working and just prioritizing like so many other different things. And yeah, like we always say with this, if you treat it like a hobby, it'll pay you like one. If you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like one. And then yeah, like, so I've been literally about 4.5 years now, but I feel like this last even 3 or 4 months, I'm kind of treating this as like, not like I've affiliated again, but sort of just like really, right, I'm going to tackle this fully as a business, because we've touched on this as well. Like I had an ADHD diagnosis back in August and just didn't know enough about how my brain worked to know that, the consistency that I'd struggled with for the times that I was working on my business, couldn't really find out I could get into the routine I wanted, even though I love doing the business and stuff. I just was making life very hard for myself, in lots of different areas. So now that I kind of understand what I've been kind of dealing with and really kind of getting myself into that rhythm now. So I've always loved the business, loved it so much, everything that we stand for and do. So it's so nice now to kind of be like, I can put on, like, someone said the other day about, like, a bit like, if you've got bad vision, you'd wear glasses. If you've got, poor hearing, you can wear a hearing aid. And now kind of having the diagnosis that I've got and understanding how my brain works, it's all of a sudden now like I can really kind of use, the things that I know and different kind of ways of learning to really like get my rhythm. Because as soon as, if I've any periods of consistency in this business, I've seen results. It's just amazing. So kind of like, you've got everything together now and I can just get this business out there and talk to people about it and change people's lives. So
which kind of leads almost seamlessly onto a question that I had further on. So I'm just going to jump to that, I think.
Sure.
So you talking about sort of your understanding of the fact that you have ADHD. So obviously there's benefit in knowing how to manage that and how that then affects your business. So do you have sort of any sort of systems in place that help you to sort of stay organised and consistent as a mentor in your business?
Yeah, so I'm kind of considering myself in the phase of learning and getting those things in place. And obviously, like with anything, a lot of the time it's trial and error, figuring out what works. I mean, I am actually invested recently in like a neuroproductivity kind of course and coach and stuff, which has really helped me understand where I was going wrong.
Sure.
So like as a quick example, like my day-to-day, obviously the great thing when you're running your own business, the great thing and also sometimes the difficult thing when you're running your own business is it's up to you to do your day. It's up to you to figure that out. You've not got someone over your shoulder telling you what to do. But I would sometimes find that in a morning, rather than say getting straight to say doing business tasks or anything, I might end up like in a situation where I'm like, I'm just going to tidy that bit in my room and I'm just going to go and do this and I'm just going to go and do that. And let me just get that done. And I'm almost preparing myself to get into work mode, but actually I'm just rinsing my dopamine.
Productive procrastination, I think they call it. I'm just as guilty
exactly,
of that.
But not even like awareness of that I'm procrastinating in the sense that it's like deliberate self-sabotage. It's almost just like it is definitely procrastination, but it was almost that I think I just hadn't really realised that over time that my brain wasn't associating business tasks, and that's like whatever business, if any business I would be doing, this would be the same as where my brain works, because the tasks that we have in the business are so simple. Like you just do you know what I mean? They're really easy to do. This is why I was always like, why is it that I've got to 9 p.m. and I haven't really done any of the stuff that I actually need to do with my business when it's so simple? And I've done this and this, and then wasn't ticking things off. So I kind of quickly realised with the course and understanding my brain that I wasn't using dopamine to my advantage at all. Didn't really understand much about how it worked. And with that, was using it up almost. I mean, it's not quite the right analogy for it, but it was getting to a point that by the time I was actually really forcing myself to sit down and do the things that were really going to move me forward, I just didn't quite have the concentration. I didn't have the blah, blah, blah. So, and then I associated sort of business tasks where, because of the time of day that I was trying to do them, they felt again harder to concentrate and blah, blah, blah. So I was almost associating them with subconsciously, like, I suppose shame, in the sense of like, God's sake, why have you done this again? Blah, 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 blah. So anyway, and then obviously you just fall into a cycle where weeks become months and then whatever. So that's been my kind of struggle with it. I mean, so many people, we have loads of people in the business with ADHD that absolutely smash this business. It's purely such a unique thing in terms of figuring out your way of working. But to go back to your question, the frameworks and stuff have been a lot more based around understanding that. So some of the things that I know that work for me that I'm sort of in the process of trying to find my rhythm to instill is like earlier nights, earlier mornings, good sleep. Like sleep massively affects your ability to concentrate for anyone and focus. So it's things like setting an alarm at night to basically remind me like it's 8:30, and it might just say leave phone downstairs, or gear yourself a bed, leave phone downstairs at 9. So I might have two. And it's literally to kind of make me go, yeah, it's 7:30, cool. Don't need my phone, because obviously going up and trying to sleep when you've been looking at a screen or laptop or anything, even if it's not business stuff, just like if you're just randomly on your phone or watching TV, you're stimulating your brain with blue light. So it's things like that, just making sure that you've got healthy sleep routine, basically. And then, I mean, I'm one of them people that when it comes to like nighttime, like I wear a nose strip, I have like a grounding sheet, I have like loads of different things to like earplugs, all that malarkey, because I know how important sleep is for anyone, but especially ADHD brains. So it's things like that, getting that in place. And then being up nice and early, like 6 o'clock-ish. I'll tend to set an alarm just to make sure I'm up if I'm not, to kind of keep in that rhythm. And basically I'm kind of in the habit at the moment of, say, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, kind of checking into like my vision, my why am I doing this business, what's the alternative. Don't want to go back to a fucking 9 to 5. I don't want to be going back to doing shift work. I don't want to be. So it's like reminding yourself of that in a good way, where it's not like bringing you down. You're literally like, of course I want to do this business. Of course I want to do these tasks that I need to do, because I don't fucking want to do 40 hours a week working for someone else's dream, you know? So quick reminder of that, quick check in with my vision, which is for me very much a case of wanting to retire my partner in the next, as soon as possible. It'd be amazing to be able to do that at some point next year. And then the two of us can enjoy going and exploring, maybe doing a bit of travelling together before we probably look to have kids, and still being able to do bits of kind of travel and moving around with them. Beautiful home in Cheshire, kind of got beautiful garden, nature, all that malarkey. So it's really nice to touch in with that vision and remind myself what I explicitly know is coming when I apply myself, because that's again the beauty that we've got. We know that whatever it is, this business is a vehicle to give you the kind of life that you want to have. How quickly and frequently and whatever you apply yourself to that will show you results, of course, which is why I'm like all guns blazing. But it's very much a case of using that kind of period in the morning to check in, bit of meditation, but not falling into it being an hour-long thing where actually that's potentially me procrastinating again. It's so easy, isn't it? And then really kind of I'm in the process at the minute of trying out work blocks as well. So having like my income producing activity in the morning, which is like my work block 1, and just getting that done. And I think the biggest thing for me is to really like create dopamine around business tasks through wins. Because I realised that for such a long time, when I was working on my business without realising what I was struggling with, I again just associated doing tasks at the end of the day with like, not you've done that, great. I was like, why is it taking you that long? And it was just associating it with shame. So it's really kind of like really being like little win, like, yay, amazing, you've done that. And then just going and like reading a book for 20 minutes, or I don't know, playing the piano or getting the dog out, or because again, it's up to me to schedule my own day. I can fit in as many lovely things as I want as well, as little snippets whilst I'm getting business done. So they're the main ones really, but I could go on all day because I'm trying different things. So
so this whole idea, we'll touch on that then, of we've talked about this previously. You're quite big on that, like the whole sort of, I mean, I understand it as sort of gamifying your business in a way, right? In the same way that, I don't know if you're familiar with like the Duolingo app or any of these kind of apps that sort of gamify your experience so that you enjoy it more, and that sort of pertains to the sort of dopamine kind of thing.
Yes.
So as I understand it, you're quite big on that. and do you sort of have, is your plan to have your downlines sort of going off of that as well, and sort of encouraging them to sort of gamify the sort of process of the business in the way that you do?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's so. We touched on this before, but I got obviously my diagnosis in, like, I don't know, 1st of August, and I've kind of just been like, cool, that's what I know I've got. I know my brain works like that, so I'm going to learn more about that to make my life easier in different ways. And again, learning the kind of things that I was through, like the neuroproductivity course and etc. We've got frameworks to work from and things that I can use day to day to stop any like self-sabotage. So example, like I might be realizing, oh, I think I'm avoiding this. Why am I doing that? And this is for like life in general, not even just business.
Yeah.
Then really kind of understanding that and then working through it on the spot with like certain techniques where it's kind of like, okay, what is it that I'm feeling? Let me switch that thought, and then shifting it basically. So I wanted, I guess, like I said, when you're, what is the phrase, that the best way to learn something is to teach it to other people.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to host one of our Sunday team calls, which we obviously have each week, which is just such a great experience for us all to, again, kind of meet virtually a little bit again, say hi, celebrate some wins, and then just be like, cool, like go straight into something that Nikki or one of the other sort of main leaders has been like passing down to us about different things, because obviously everything is kept so sort of up to date. There's always new things that we can be knowing, but a big part of it is personal development. And so I wanted to kind of host my own call on some of the things that I've been learning that have really helped me and made me understand why managing myself the way I was, or should I say not managing myself, just wasn't helping me with business. Because again, the good thing about what we have and the way that everything has been designed and built is that you really only need like 3 or 4 hours in a day tops to do your business tasks, and then just get the fuck on with your life. That's what this is for, like it's literally just like to not have to spend all day. Like that's the whole beauty of the passive income. So and I I've realized that wasn't what I was doing to a degree. So it's kind of like how to nail those specific things and stop the self-sabotage, so that it just becomes like 5 minutes of sort of almost therapizing yourself for a second and then moving the hell on, and it not falling into days and weeks. So yes, ADHD brain, but everyone will deal with that at some point. So I felt that like doing that call and then creating my own kind of version of the frameworks that we can instill in the business that we do would be beneficial to all of us, let alone like anyone that I then go on to mentor. But even whether they have ADHD or not, I think these are things that all of us, like I say, struggle with potentially. So for them to have access to that as a framework, I just felt like from a mentoring perspective, it's going to make their life a lot easier and enable them to stay on track a lot more and see faster results, etc. And it's work in progress. I mean, I feel like there's so many topics on this, but now I've got my own little framework. I can then apply it to different theories and different things. And, the more I'm learning about psychology and behavior and understanding the way our brains work, the more I can kind of get that information out there for everyone to use. No gatekeeping here.
Yeah. In the spirit of the community, like you said, everyone's quite happy to share information, and that's really
massively,
really cool. Like great way to sort of go about it.
Yeah.
So you sort of touched on it earlier with your sort of routine and stuff, and just sort of optimizing your lifestyle. But do you feel there's any other sort of sacrifices that you've made to get to kind of where you are today in your business?
Yeah, definitely. And funnily enough, I think how I was saying before about, yes, I started a business 4 years ago. Can't really say I've been treating it like a business for that period, which is fine. Take full ownership for that. I'm obviously making those changes. But one of the things that, really, I understood that it was needed, but I don't think it truly clicked at the time, is almost this element of like, you do need to prioritize it to a degree. And again, like I say, the beauty is you're only really prioritizing like 3-4 hours of your day to just getting those things done, which is far, far less than working for someone else.
Yeah, so true.
But it's a business, you know, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not something like if you're coming in to make a quick buck, like that's not what this is about. It's a whole like lifestyle business. Like this is something that is going to move and grow and support you through any change in your life. Like that's why I absolutely adore it. And where I was 4 years ago compared to where I am now in my own personal life is very different. So my why in the very beginning was like, oh, I just want to travel and escape, and realised that actually I was escaping. I was escaping the whole 9 to 5. I wasn't just escaping, like it was a lot of things. And now in a relationship that, you know, I very much see as, you know, you know, lifetime relationship, you know, want to settle down, have babies, all that kind of thing. It's really, really nice to kind of have that switch of just like, this is what I now want to do. And actually, I'm coming away from wanting, like, we have had such a great social life. I feel very, very blessed to have had, like, I've done so many festivals. I've like had so many nights out. Like, I really like drum and bass, so I've been to a lot of raves and things like that. And I'm 35 now, and I'm still such an advocate of enjoy music at any point in your life, go, go, go
100%.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But doing that and not prioritizing the things that are going to give me the kind of future I want isn't going to get me where I want to any quicker. So it's kind of like I'm almost reining things in naturally anyway, but also realizing that the biggest, and it doesn't, sacrifice is almost the wrong word. It's almost just like, actually, I'm choosing the future that I want, and I can integrate music in different ways with that, and just not in a situation where I'm then rough for 3 days. Like we've just had a big 4-day festival called Boomtown in summer, which was amazing.
Yeah.
But I mean, you knocked off your socks for like a week after because your sleep's all over the show and everything else. So it's those things that I would say that I'm like, I don't want to choose those things anymore. I want to choose my business, but technically sacrifice, you know, if you can use the word sacrifice, it's those things where, but I'm like, I'm actually just making better choices now because I'm a business, you know, a business owner. You know, I've got mentor other people, really wanting to get this out there and mentor, like, you know, as many people's lives as I can change with this business is going to be amazing. But you do have to treat it like a business, and that just means like reining it in and choosing what you're prioritizing and sacrificing hangovers for much nicer days.
Yeah.
So that's been the big one, really. It's that lifestyle switch up.
And you can still, you know, delve into, you know, the occasional sort of thing if you like. It's totally up to you as a business owner.
Yeah, exactly. And I still will. I'm literally going to a drum and bass event on Wednesday, but I'm going to drive and have still such a great time.
Yeah.
And also, again, with the ADHD side of things, I know that me having drank for a few days, my brain just doesn't function the same 2 days after. Yeah. Why would I want to do that anyway? Like, I don't want to put myself in that position regardless of whether I've got a business or not. Yeah. So I'm just learning these things, actually. It's been great, but yeah. But yeah, sober festivals. I'm going to be taking my kids to Glasgow in the future, so yeah.
Why not? Yeah, awesome. You mentioned before about something called negativity bias. Could you sort of go into that a little bit and sort of explore that?
Yeah, negativity bias is, again, kind of just like a very it's a well-known psychology terminology, and it's just one of the things that I've been understanding a bit more about recently. But it's kind of this element of that your brain will naturally be biased or look for negativity, and it's not negativity just in the sense of like your everyday. It's more of an element of trying to keep you safe and protect you. So as an example, like, I mean, one of what I touched on before, like the personal development that you go through as a business owner, but in this business, like, was so I guess, what's the word, like, you know, we really encourage people, and it just happens so naturally to, you know, understand more about, you know, your brain and like how these patterns and routines that you get set in throughout your life, and things that have been passed down from parents that you don't realize. Like, your relationship with money is very related to how your parents talked about money and raised, you know. So negativity bias is kind of more of the basis of that your brain is always trying to keep you safe. It's integral, kind of, if you go back to even like caveman days, and we're still wired the same way. We just don't have the same triggers. So one of the things I think I touched on the call that I did was this element of, again, this is very widely known. You can have a search into this, but it's like we have the same responses, chemical responses, but to very, very different triggers. So we're not being chased in the wild by saber-toothed tigers anymore. Our responses are things like, oh my God, that person ghosted me on Instagram, and now I feel like, have I done something wrong? And it's the same triggers. So we're sitting there with anxiety and stress and things like that. Yeah. And it's all really, a lot of it boils down to our brains trying to keep us safe, because if we did do something wrong or something that might warrant us being extradited from a tribe, that meant you would be in the wild and very, very vulnerable and probably wouldn't last very long. Sure. So in our today's society, it kind of results in us, being really like anxious about things that are actually so pointless to be worrying about. Yeah. And it's that element of our brain trying to keep us safe. So the negativity bias is this focus on not allowing you to step out of your comfort zone, to start a business, to basically put yourself out there, because it's trying to keep you safe. So it's biased towards things that would be like, oh, don't do that because that's not going to make us safe. And you have to just be like, fuck you, I'm going to do it anyway because you don't rule this roost. Yeah. You don't know better. And I need to step out of my comfort zone to grow and be open to these amazing new experiences and things like that. So yeah, I'm still learning about it, but that's kind of my understanding of it, which is why we're just like break through the glass ceiling. Like you've got to live a life, and comfort zone can be beautiful, but nothing grows there, as they say. So
100%. And to your point, just sort of reframing it and sort of telling your subconscious that actually it is safe to do, these sort of, new sort of experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And you have to like retrain it like a muscle. That's what I'm doing at the moment with, like, I've almost got this element of self-trust, like, because I've been trying to tackle things for years with completely the wrong tools. I've kind of built up, without realising, this element of, I don't trust myself to get done the things I need to. So I'm rewiring that myself, and it's just little things like saying I'm going to do a task, rewarding myself after it with a quick, like, yay. And then I'm like, it builds up, and you can so easily retrain your brain for things. But yeah, I find it really interesting, and it's dead important for business as well, so...
Amazing. I'm conscientious. We've just got over 5 minutes left, so we've. I would love to stay here all day and ask you loads more questions, but this is the way it goes. So if someone were watching this on the interview replay and they were interested in pursuing what you do, affiliate network marketing, what advice might you offer them?
Oh my God, do it. Like, I think first of all is just get curious. If you can't be like all in the beginning, get curious and just look more into understanding about it. Like, we're so transparent with like what we have here, and it's not a case of like, you could literally learn the information and kind of think, do you know what, I don't think that's for me. It's really rare that happens, to be honest, but just get curious and learn a little bit more about it. And honestly, as you start to get it, like, I love, like, we have obviously part of when people first jump into business and they go through what we call like a discovery process, and you're learning all about who we're affiliated with, why they're as great as they are, why the products are incredible, and blah, 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 blah. And I just love, then I get messages from people when they're going through that and they're like, oh my God, like, wow, didn't know about that, that's incredible, and blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, see? But they wouldn't have known that, because again, like, with any kind of online business, people have this perception of what it's going to be like, and it's just other people's negativity biases that have been stepping in and painting this picture of it being something that is just not. So just get curious. If it means you got to tiptoe in, but my God, like, when you start to get that and you're like, oh my God, I think I get it, and you get involved with the community, just jump in with both fucking feet, because you will not regret any of it. You will literally regret not starting sooner. And everyone is there to help and be such a support. But God, just go in and get it. Like, there's a life that you clearly want more so. You know, if you're even watching this, you clearly, there's something in you. Just go for it, because it's so cliche. You will literally only have one life, and no one is going to be a knight in shining armor and give that to you. You have to grab it by the fucking horns, and that involves stepping out your comfort zone and learning about something and going for it. So yeah, just do it. Honestly, best thing I've ever done in my life, and will continue to talk about the business with such passion, because it's amazing. So yeah.
Great, amazing. Well, look, thank you ever so much for your time today, Katie.
That's
I
okay.
really appreciate you. If people want to know more about what you do, where can they find you online?
Yeah, on Instagram, you can find me at The Natural Blueprint, so underscore between each word, so The _ Natural Blueprint. Yeah, that's probably the best way. That's where I spend sort of most of my time online, really. Have a little browse. But yeah, I just want to do a little shout out to you as well, John, because I just think like you just allowing this platform for you just to be talking about the business that we've got. I just think you will be such an incredible mentor. Like, you will really, really smash this business, because you've just got all the right energy behind it. So anyone would be really, really lucky to be able to have you as a mentor going forward. I just think you really get it. So yeah,
really
hat off to you.
That. Thank you. Yeah, nice one. Well, yeah, I look forward to seeing your journey, and yeah, we'll definitely have to keep in touch, because
100%.
swap notes on ADHD and all that, you know.
I know, exactly. But yeah, we've got all the events as well, and stuff, so it'll be amazing to see you there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, nice one. Well, yeah, take care, and see you soon. Yeah.
Thank you. See you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.